Thanks for tuning in. This is the video tour for The Sims for PS2, although the GameCube and Xbox versions are actually pretty similar to the PS2 game. So hopefully this should also give you a good idea of what to expect from all three versions. So The Sims was originally a PC game that came out in 2000. It just kind of came out of left field. It became this incredible success story. It's reportedly the most successful PC game of all time. It's now on the consoles, so let's take a look at what the console game is like. The first mode that you see when you start playing The Sims is the Get a Life mode. It's a new mode that's specific to the consoles. Basically, it's kind of like a mission-based single-player game. So we'll start here real quick. So you get to choose the name of your Sim family. So just call this guy Spot. Let's have his first name be Game for the heck of it. With all versions of The Sims, you can personalize your Sims' personalities, but you can also really customize their appearance, and it actually plays a little more of a role in the console versions because you can zoom in a lot closer on your characters just to see how they look. So let's make a pretty balanced character there. So you can choose different skin tones and such if you want to. Let's do that. Body type, there's the fat, thin, and medium. Let's go with the thin guy. You can change your clothes to really whatever you want. Let's get some different pants here. Let's go with the cargos, why not? And then different kinds of shoes, for those of you who like shoes. So you can change your face, your appearance. Basically, you have a lot of room to customize your Sims appearances. Let's put a pair of glasses that looks real good. Okay, so we'll start with Get a Life mode. In this mode, it's like I mentioned, it's a mission-based mode. So you'll have a series of objectives that you'll want to complete. Let's not save. So you start out here. This is kind of a funny dream sequence where your Sim starts out in this dream house and kind of meets the woman of his dreams, or if you're a female character, the man of her dreams. This is sort of like the ideal house, the ideal setup. It's really swanky. It's got a bunch of expensive furniture. And so this Sim just invited me into the hot tub. I think I'll jump in. So it turns out that your Sim is not some really wealthy person who lives with a dream date in a really lavish house. Instead, turns out you're kind of a loser. You live at home with your mom. You basically start out in this rundown house, your mom's house. You're trying to earn enough money to move out. You'll do so over the course of 7 missions with different objectives, like make a certain number of friends or make a certain amount of money, that sort of thing. So here you see, this is your goals. This first mission serves as a really good introduction to the game, as well as kind of a tutorial. That's Mom there, and it's me. So here you have the goals. You need to borrow some money from Mom. You need to cook dinner. You need to fix the TV. So we'll do all those things. So to start out, you're going to probably want to improve your skills. So we'll study mechanical skill, and let's speed up time a bit. The Sims helps you at least get through the game a little faster by speeding or slowing up the flow of time. You can also pause by hitting that. Okay, so we've received a mechanical skill point. Let's see if we can't fix that TV. Okay, it looks like we might be able to fix this. So as you can see, Mom is running around doing her own thing. The Sims are pretty autonomous. They do their own thing, even when you take your eyes off them. Okay, so we fixed the TV, which now unlocks new furniture. Basically, throughout the Get a Life mode, as you play it and finish certain goals, you'll unlock new furniture that you can buy for your house. New furniture not only looks good, it also serves certain purposes, like maybe it'll be really comfortable for you to sit on and help your Sims regain their comfort or energy rating. But right now, let's try to borrow some money from Mom here real quick. So basically, yeah, throughout these different missions, you'll start out with really simple stuff like fixing something or something like that. But later on, you'll need to do things like make a certain number of friends or earn a certain amount of money or that sort of thing. So right now, my Sim is taking care of one of his most basic needs. He needs to go to the bathroom. Your Sims need to always fill up their needs or what are called motives in the game. They need to go to the bathroom, they need to eat, they need to sleep, they need to have fun, and they need to be comfortable. So we'll just check really quickly to see. Those are the different needs that your Sim has. My Sim's doing okay, but he looks like he might be kind of hungry soon. So as you can see, the Sims are talking to each other, but they don't really speak English or any other language. They're speaking this kind of nonsensical gibberish language called Simlish. Simlish it sounds real funny. It's actually delivered really well. It's really expressive, even if it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so my Sim is saying that he needs entertainment, but I'd rather borrow money from Mom real quick. Oh, she's not in the mood to lend me money. Well, so basically you have to do things like, well, for instance, Mom is apparently pretty bored, so let's have her watch TV. Basically, the idea is to complete these missions while balancing out your Sims' different motives. So so apparently your Sims will get bored, they'll start talking to each other, they'll not want to help you out if they're really upset for whatever reason. But yeah, basically that's the mission mode. And let's go to Play The Sims, which is, so Play The Sims is basically the same game as the original PC game. It lets you create, basically build a new house, create a family of Sims. Let's call this neighborhood the AAAA neighborhood. I used to live there back in college. So here you can just, there are preset houses with preset families, or you can build your own family. In the interest of time, maybe we'll just play with one of the preset families. As you can see, so I'll just pause the game here real quick. So this is the family. In the console versions of The Sims, as you can see, you get a lot more control over the 3D camera. The control works really well on all three versions of the console game, but I would say probably the PS2 controller works probably the best, slightly better than the other ones, although the others are just fine. So we can switch to the different Sims here, keep track of their different moods. So these guys are, since we're just starting out, these guys are okay. As you can see, this is a family, 2 parents and a kid. The kid has to go to school, which he will do shortly. Let's see what the adults are up to. Why don't we have them converse with each other? So there are plenty of different options that you have with respect to interaction. You can joke around, you can hit people, you can scream at them, you can tease them, you can compliment them. They're all done with really expressive sounds, really expressive animation. Let's. Okay, so apparently the kid enjoys mourning for people who have died. This family has a graveyard in their backyard, which is pretty creepy, but it's just one of the weird options you can do in this game. Apparently my Sim here doesn't like the lamp for some bizarre reason. So this is kind of one of the neat things about The Sims. If you want to, you can just sit back and watch. Sims will do different stuff based on their own personalities, or at any time you can kind of pause the game, step in and say, all right, well, instead of standing there mourning, why don't you go somewhere else, or do this, or something like that. So apparently this family's real morbid. They like to stand around mourning. Fortunately, the kid has to go to school. So we can hit start at any time, and let's go to buy mode. There are a whole bunch of different objects that you can buy for your house. Basically, different objects, different kinds of furniture serve different purposes. You're going to want to get decorations just to kind of spruce up the place. You'll need chairs to sit down on, tables to eat at or work at, beds to sleep in, TVs to watch, to keep your Sims from not being bored, refrigerators, all that sort of stuff. Let's get a lavish trash can, which we'll rotate a bit. Put that there. I think that looks real good. You can also enter build mode, which lets you basically build up your house. As I mentioned before, you can actually build a house from scratch if you really want to. You can also choose different flooring, different carpeting. You can choose different wallpapers. Paint your house different ways, like that, for instance. That looks really good. Choose different doors, windows. You can also choose vegetation, like, let's say, wildflowers there. Why not? You can even put in a pool if you want to. Which, let's put it there. Okay, so now my Sims have a pool. It's just that simple. So it looks like some time just passed there. But live mode is a lot like the PC version. Again, if you want to, you can really get in and control your Sims' lives. You can actually, in options, you can choose free will on or off. What that'll do is basically that'll make your Sims do exactly what you tell them in order. The danger is that they won't automatically take care of their own needs, like going to the bathroom or eating or things like that. We'll leave free will on right now. And actually, let's jump to a different part of the neighborhood. Okay, so The Sims also has a couple different multiplayer modes. Some of them are cooperative, some of them are competitive. The competitive modes aren't real in-depth. They're actually pretty simplistic. Basically, you compete against your opponent to do some menial tasks like clean up a room in a specific amount of time or something like that. They're real easy to get into, so maybe that'd be something to play with someone you know who doesn't actually play games, like, say, your girlfriend or your parents or someone who just doesn't understand why you play all these darn video games. The cooperative mode actually lets you play the regular Sims live mode together. So basically, I could be playing this guy right here, and then we'll have someone else playing this character here. So this character is apparently kind of bookish. Let's have our two players sit down and talk to each other. Maybe we'll have them dance a bit. Co-op mode is a lot like live mode. Just again, basically two different players controlling two different Sims. If you wanted to, you could maybe challenge yourself by trying to run the house really, really efficiently between the two of you, or maybe it could just be something that that you do together with someone who doesn't play games a whole lot. So. Give background. There's all kinds of weird, crazy, funny little social things that you can do here. So this is going to show my relationship with different Sims. These two live together, so hopefully they have a good relationship. Here's their personality and their skills. The great thing about The Sims is if you want this to be a really goal-oriented game, you can try to build up your Sim skills. You can try to improve your cooking or mechanical skills or whatever. That'll make you better cook. That'll make you better at fixing stuff. It'll also help you on your career path. You can get a job from the newspaper. You'll have to go to the house for a couple hours every day, but you'll bring in a lot of money. And it looks like the neighbors are calling. And that's pretty much what The Sims for the consoles has to offer. There's the single-player Get a Life mission mode. There's the regular The Sims live mode. And then there are the competitive and cooperative multiplayer modes.